Right, so now that we've got that render finished, I've just got the 20 frames. We're going to jump into Nuke. So I'm in Nuke X. You can get the non-commercial version for free, so just head on to the internet and you can find that. I think you've got to set up an account, but you can download that for free. And then open up Nuke X non-commercial, and this is what you'll see. And then just in here, go to Tab, start typing read. And then I've done this previously, so that's why it's popping straight in here. But just find your, go into your directory, into wherever you saved those renders. So mine is in my D drive, the project folder there, render. And then I'm going to click on this, which is the sequence. I've just got the 20 frames there. Open that. So we're not seeing anything yet. Press 1 on this. Now connect my viewer. Still don't see anything. That's because it's saved not in RGBA, it's saved in a different channel. So drop a shuffle, drop that underneath, and then find C. So that's the color or the beauty channel, and then we can view our render there. Just got the 20 frames. So let's make sure our project settings are correct. So your frame range, I've just got the 20 frames. You should have 100 really. The format, we need to set that to 1080 or whatever you had it. When I can find it, I will do it. There we go. And okay, up here I'm going to change this to 1 so that we just have the one kind of box there. Okay. Now let's look at defocusing this, or doing the depth of field, right? So I'm just going to go to a later frame, to the end, to frame 20 there, and I'm going to drop a Z defocus, connect that. You see that defocuses everything. So a few things we need to do. We need to change this to depth extra Z, so that's the channel that we created when we rendered it in Houdini. Okay, let's check the focal plane setup, so that will allow us to see where our depth of field is, where's the center basically. The math, we just need to set that to depth as well so that it works correctly. And then we could probably actually see the result of this now if we change this to result. Let's try, if you press D, let's give it, we need some more blur on this, so let's do like 15 and 20 maybe. Okay, and then see the results. Not seeing much still. Maybe a little. You can see it there. Maybe I can push it up a bit more. Or maybe I'll bring the focus plane a bit closer. Depth of field, I'll give it just a tiny bit of depth. You can see it just a tad in the background there. Maybe I'll push it up to like 20 and 30. This is all to, your kind of artistic discretion. You can see the ball at the back there blurring. Okay, so just being quite subtle with this. Next, I want to add in a color correct. Color correct, just drop that in there. Okay, zoom in a bit, just scroll and a middle mouse button to move around in here. And I want to first of all, bring this saturation down a bit in the midtones and the shadows. Okay, so I'm going to bring it down to 0.85 there. So it kind of looks a bit more natural, I think, now. And in the shadows, just a tad, 0.9. There we go. And now let's push it all up in general. Whoops, not to 0.1. Okay, so all of it goes up a little bit. And maybe raise the gamma a bit, brighten up our image just a tad as well. Okay, so we can see the difference there. Okay. Again, you can play around with that to see what looks nice for you. But that's all I'm going to do in Nuke here. Nothing drastic. And then you can see our image is kind of, because we've got some blur, it's kind of outside of our limits there. So just drop a crop, and that will crop it to our window there. So just drop that and you'll see it tighten up. Okay, and now we need to write this out again, so you can write it to any kind of format you like. I'm going to basically, maybe if we just copy this, and that will write out an EXR in this place, but it will overwrite what I've already got. So obviously I don't want to do that, so I'm going to change render to comp, like that. I'm going to click this create directory, so that will create this folder for me, and then the rest of this I can leave as it is. I'm going to click render here and click OK. That will render out my 20 frames. Right, once that's finished, if you go ahead and search for the mplay or image viewer application, open that up, and then you'll get your load image window pop up straight away. And then just go ahead and go into that project, into your comp folder or wherever you saved those files, those the EXR files, and then load that up, and you've got your finished comp. And then if you want to, you can you know, further work on this on the color grading or whatever in another application, and then we can export that. We can export a Windows and FFmpeg, QuickTime, or whatever you want, and there you go. Yeah, obviously I recommend experimenting, playing around with different spheres, playing around with the simulation, different types of lighting. You know, all of these lessons are meant as a guide. You know, you can follow them and do, you know, get the same results, but it's really important that you take what you've learned and apply them to your own projects as well.